very much, Ian, and I missed out on those bits because I was partly responsible in terms of trying to get both the Taoiseach and the Minister in here. But just to conclude, and first of all, I'm very delighted that so many people are still here, and I think it was a hugely positive conference for the whole industry. The fact that so many of you took time out of your busy days to come here, the fact that we have such very strong sponsors and exhibitors, I think is a very positive sign for the industry. The fact, I think, that we had our Taoiseach here to open the conference and our Minister for Housing and Environment and Planning that took time out as well, and I think addressed the industry in a very, very positive way. I think the announcement and the commitment to setting up the construction sector group, certainly I find it something that's really positive. In terms of all the different challenges and the issues that are addressed, if we can address them together with government and with the key players, with the Taoiseach's department and the Department of Jobs and all the different stakeholders that are around. And we had this conversation with Minister Murphy just before he left about doing something about, because Minister Coveney announced this at the Cork Regional Dinner back last year, and then with governmental changes and so on, it sort of disappeared off the radar. But I think it's very much back on the radar now with the Taoiseach and the Minister. So Minister Owen Murphy said to myself and the President Dominic that he wants to move this very quickly, and he's suggesting a sort of an initial stakeholder meeting in the next couple of weeks. And I think that's the one thing that I can say on behalf of the CIF and the members, that we've always been available and very, very willing to go and talk to whoever. There was a time when we found it hard to get people in government to listen to us, but I think we have the ear now, and I think we had that today about the different issues that were raised and the different successes in the budget in the last few days have been directly as a result of the sensible lobbying that we did on behalf of our members. So the budget measures, I think, are reasonable positive insofar as any budget measures make a big difference, but I think it's time to get on with it now and start delivering on the different promises that are there. I note that, Ian, you introduced Donald Murphy as the man with the money, and I think it's very important that we have a man with money, that we have CIF, and that we have an entity there that has 750 million to make available to the industry when we have a need. And certainly, Donald, will be talking to you about that and making sure, and I know it won't be your job, that legislation is put in place very soon to allow that to begin to spend. The challenges clearly are there. One person texted me, one of my members, and said, Tom, have we no smart guys within the country, or why did we bring in so many foreign speakers? No, I'm not making any excuses for that. I think the speakers we had certainly are cutting edge globally, but I would like to assure that we have some very smart lads and lassies as well. And Owen Vaughan was on the panel here, and Owen chairs our sort of technology stroke LEAM stroke BIM committee. And I have sat in on that committee because I'm the least techie person going. It's one area that I need to sort of up my ante. It's one of many areas that I need to up my ante. But certainly the one thing that impressed me most, first of all, about the smartness of the people that were there, but secondly, their willingness to share. And like, they're all representing individual companies that have made a massive investment in the technology and in the different areas. And they were coming into a meeting, sitting down with their colleagues, but with their competitors as well, and prepared to share that information. And I think it's a wonderful committee, and Owen does a very good job. And I think it's one that's going to grow and grow. And obviously, we need to find a way of spreading that out to the members that so far haven't had the wherewithal to invest in technology. And the fact that Enterprise Ireland are here, and I think whether the Innovate UK model is very good, and I would hope that as a result of our sectoral group, that Enterprise Ireland will have more resources to invest in that area. Certainly the venue, I didn't get back to the back to see what it sounds or looks like down there, but it's a long, long way back to the back. And maybe that's the only shortcoming I find of this venue. I love Croke Park. I think it's an iconic venue. To even sit out and look out on the pitch certainly is uplifting for me, particularly as an Offaly man that doesn't have much occasion to come here. But the one bit of news I saw breaking today, that the All-Ireland football final looks to be going to be postponed until the 2nd of December, because no other more eminent individual than Pope Francis may be coming here in the end of August to address a family conference. So I don't think that's confirmed yet, but way has been made here. So I think we're lucky to be able to do that. One of the other criticisms I got from a member of the audience was a very valid one, and all I could do was put my hands up and say, you're right and we're wrong. We talked about encouraging people into the industry, but particularly about encouraging the female gender into the industry. And she said to me, Tom, you're talking about encouraging women. There's only one woman on the whole panel today, and you did a wonderful job, Claire, but we were remiss, I think, in that, and next year we'll have a different setup, and we'll try and have a much more gender positive area. Just we had a women in construction event in CIF about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We had over 120 women there, and it was different from their different perspectives about why they were working and the problems they had and so on. But one lady said that she loves the industry, and we were talking about wellness here and about different issues that make it more comfortable to come into work and so on. But she said she likes the outdoors, she likes the exercise, and she likes the banter amongst people that work in the industry. And, you know, maybe Google might have a much more comfortable environment to work in, but I doubt if you get the banter in there that you would get on a building site, and I certainly look forward to that. I just want to thank a few people. I want to thank Ian, certainly for his stewardship. I think he did a wonderful job. Mention was made, I think, by Philip about our 2 politicians. They are young, bright guys like Ian, and I think, you know, when we have those sort of people here and in charge of our policy going forward, I think it's a positive step, and the fact that they are listening to the industry, I think it's good as well. I want to thank my own team in the CIF. I suppose I would have to say this, but I think we have a superb team of very, very committed professionals within the CIF, and I'd particularly like to mention Shane and Joanna and Michaela for their absolute involvement in getting this, to iQuest as well, and the Sunday Business Post. I think that collaboration and partnership has worked very, very well. So I don't think I have much more to say. I think somebody mentioned about that we need to change the narrative around the industry. And there's notions out there about being old-fashioned, not embracing technology, not being a good place to work, and a whole lot of things. But I think we have a good story to tell, and I think that's the story that we need to tell. And I would hope that when we come back here next year, that we'll have a really big positive conference again. Mention was made as well that all the indicators are that construction is going to get a couple of good years. I think it's important that we invest in the new people coming in. We invest in improving our image, and I know we have David here, and David is a really committed guy in terms of improving the whole area around procurement and so on. And, you know, I think we have good friends all around at the moment, and we should make the very best use of that. So without any further ado, I want to congratulate Dominic, our president. Somebody said you're the luckiest president, Dominic, that you're just coming in when things are going well, and you're probably going to keep it right for the next 12 months and so on, and I hope you will. But certainly congratulations on your speech today and your stewardship throughout the last 12 months and for the next 12 months as well. So I think that's all I'm going to say. To all of our speakers, really appreciate it. To all the panelists, I think you were very articulate and on the button and brought a major lot of experience to bear, and I hope people took some positives from that. So that's all I have to say. Safe home, and we'll see you back next year at our conference. So thank you very much.